Well, good morning everybody. It's Wednesday 14th of June and it's about 6:30 in the morning and I'm off on my morning run. I have my DJI action camera in the chest harness and it's recording to the SD card, and hopefully battery's going to last long enough to record this run. The sun hasn't come up yet, so it's a bit dark, and hopefully you'll be able to see footage of where I'm going. Just top 3rd Street, and I'm going down Hughes Street. On the left hand side is a tape, and the right hand side is just housing. Let's get into the run a little bit, get the rhythm going, and get breathing okay. If you've watched my running videos before, you'll be familiar with content. I run around Goulburn and I talk about running or something that interests me. You get the sound of my shoes, heavy breathing, wind, maybe see my hands as well as the scenery. That's part of running. So I'm going to talk about Goulburn a bit and tell you some things about it. If you're a local, you probably know all these things. If you're not local and you're watching from outside Australia, then I hope you find it interesting. And the last running videos I did, I called it the history tour because I talk about historic buildings. I'm not going to talk so much about history from that point of view, but there will be some more modern history in here somewhere. Now, what got me thinking about this topic was as well as making my own YouTube videos, I watch videos from other people's channels on YouTube, and I've mentioned a couple of the running people that I watch, motorcycle ones, Anyway, I'm wasting away my day one day recently watching YouTube videos, and I came across one about Goulburn, and this one, according to the information I saw, was made and posted in around 2017, 6 years ago, and it seemed as if it was part of a campaign. Gee, I hope you're going to be able to hear me over that wind. Just going down a hill in Mount Street, so blowing up the hill. Hopefully that's not going to ruin the commentary too much. Anyway, to get back to the video, it looked like it was part of a campaign by the Goulburn Warwick Council to promote Goulburn as a place, I guess, for people to come and live and start businesses and so on. Bob Kirk, who was then the mayor, Bob Kirk, who was then the mayor, was being interviewed by somebody, and he talked about various things to do with Goulburn. And a young woman who was a youth worker with the council, I think, can't remember her name, she talked about some programs that the council was running for young people or something like that. Now, it wasn't so much what they said. The video was only a couple of minutes long, so again, it wasn't so much what they said or the content of the video that got me interested in this topic or subject, as the comments that were made afterwards. There weren't very many, but the first one that struck me, or I read rather, the fellow who said, and I can't remember his name, and I don't want to name people anyway, he said he'd been born in Goulburn, and the best thing he ever did was leave and move to the Gold Coast. That was 30 years ago or something. I'm not here to criticise him or criticise his choices, and perhaps he's one of the people that I'll get to in a little while, might explain why he moved to the Gold Coast. The second person made a comment that said Goulburn wasn't a very nice place and there was nothing to do and he couldn't wait to leave. And the third person had a little bit more to say, but their criticism was more what the video didn't say about Goulburn and about running a business here or dealing with the council and so on than anything else. I should say at this point, for full disclosure, that the things I'm about to say are my own personal opinion. I'm a 70-year-old man. I've been retired from my work for 10 years, which was public school teacher. I don't have any connection with the council. They haven't asked me to say any of this. They haven't paid me or anything like that. And I don't have any connection to any business in Goulburn, and I've never run a business in Goulburn. I just want to get all that out of the way before I went any further. So, I guess it's easy anywhere you live to talk it down and to be negative about where you live. And I think in general it's an Australian trait. We do that about our towns and our cities and about ourselves. We don't like to blow our own trumpet. And we hate people who do that kind of thing and put themselves on some sort of pedestal. And in the comments that I make from now on, I don't want to give the impression that Goulburn's some sort of country paradise and there's nothing wrong here, because that wouldn't be right either. But I just wanted to talk about the place and say some things about it, and maybe have people who do live here look at it in a different way, and people who don't live here but have heard about it maybe look at it in a different way. And I suppose today, a day like today, when it's only going to be 9 degrees, it's forecast, and feels like they're out running in shorts and so on. You can't escape the weather question, so let's deal with that. Summer, spring and autumn are very good seasons in Goulburn. There can be some very hot days in summer, in January, up around the 35s, but there are generally only a few days like that before the temperature drops down to more bearable levels. Spring is beautiful and colourful, as you'd expect in most places in spring. Autumn also very colourful and very pleasant. Winter, there's no getting around it, can be quite brutal. Local folklore says winter starts on Anzac Day, which for those who know out of Australia is the 25th of August, 25th of April, sorry, 25th of April, and runs until the long weekend in October, which is usually the first or second weekend in October. So, yes, local folklore says the winter can be long, it's cold and brutal. There are days when it's heavy frost, and especially through July, August and September, whenever there's snow on the Alps, which are a couple of hundred k's away, I should admit, but whenever there's snow on there, there's going to be strong icy winds. So winter time, you can have a high bill for trying to heat your place, and you're going to need to go out sometimes in 3 or 4 layers of clothing. So let's put that aside at the moment, because it's a fact and we can't hide it, we can't change it. People who live in Goulburn, they learn to live with it. Now, I've lived in Goulburn for nearly 50 years. I came here in 1977, having grown up in Sydney, but lived in other country areas before I got to Goulburn. And sometimes it feels like Goulburn, like any other country town where not much happens and not much changes, and it's a bit like a TV soap opera. If you don't watch for a long time, you can come back and start watching and pretty soon pick up where you left off and work out what's going on. But having said that, I think there has been a fair bit of development and growth in Goulburn, especially in the last 10 years or so, that are bringing a much bigger town. Now, according to the size of the entrance to the city, the population of Goulburn itself, that's the city of Goulburn, is close to 25,000. As I understand it, I hope I'm correct in quoting this figure, the population of the Goulburn-Mulwaree local government area is something like 33,000, and the council's plans are for that figure to reach something like 40,000 by the middle of the next decade. Now, one of the things that I have noticed in the time that I've lived here, and I got thinking about this when I started thinking about this topic, is the growth in housing. The number of estates, subdivisions, or whatever the proper word for it is, that have grown up and developed over the period that I've lived in Goulburn. Now, in no particular order, these are some of them. Along Mary's Mount Road, which you know I have often run a lot, there have been a number of estates. At the top of the hill at Mary's Mount is the Mary's Mount Monastery, and below that there's been a whole new housing estate built there. I can't tell you how many houses are in any of these estates, but I know there's a lot of housing in there. Directly across the road at the northern end of Mary's Mount Road, where the Challenge Foundation is now building, is the Merino Estate. Now, when I first came to Goulburn, that was all empty land, and the only house out there is a bloke who owned a dog kennel business. So if you were going on holidays or something, you couldn't take your dog. You took your dog out there and boarded it for a while. Now, at the southern end, where Mary's Mount Road comes off the Crookle Road, there is the Belmore Estate on the right hand side. Again, when I first came to Goulburn, that was all empty land. There's Mistral Park Estate, which has grown and grown, and there also still some vacant blocks there. I think most of them have been sold, and it seems like every time I go up there, the builders are working on another house. A little bit further along is the tillage, and at one stage there was just one house there, and